Bang, what's good? It's your boy, little boy. Like I said, we're doing things today. So we did a little podcast this morning, and I promised that I would come back and podcast more with a little dog that I went and got from the shelter, and this is it. This is her. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my baby. This is Kobeni, everybody. This is Kobeni. Okay, her name was Princess, but I changed it to Kobeni because she looks so nervous. But she's an angel. She's my new best friend. She's my new best friend. I'm gonna what a precious angel. Kobeni. You can go ahead. Go chill. I'm gonna call you back later. You gotta come kick. Oh, you're gonna. Oh, you should see. I got a little bed down here for her. Oh my. Whoa, that's a babe. That's a babe right there. Got one. Got one, y'all. Hey, what's up? Did you guys see Kobeni? Your boy is wildin'. Actually went and got 2 dogs from the shelter today. Not 1, but 2. We're crazy. Oh, whoa, we got like crazy dual screen shit going on. Yeah. You might not even seen the baby. I got to do it all over again. All right, running it back. Run it back. Yeah, that was my fault. I was doing technical difficulties. We added a thing so that I could do FaceTime shit, and I forgot to turn it off. Hold on. Let me grab her. Oh, she said, what? Why are you bothering me? Huh. Hi, Kobeni. Okay, so we'll start over. We'll do that again. This is Kobeni. Her name used to be Princess. But now it's Kobeni. She has what we think is a partial trachea collapse, which is kind of normal in these smaller breed dogs as they get older. Not the first dog that I've had that has had that. She's a little angel. She's a Chihuahua something. She's a sassy little girl. I don't. Go ahead, Kobeni. Sorry. I think she's fixed. I don't have correct information on that right now because she didn't get fixed by the shelter, right? But she's an older gal, and we think she came from the street or she was at least on the streets at some point. How she would not be pregnant is very, like, people who don't get their dogs fixed but also don't lose them aren't typically there's not a huge cross section. What I'm saying. A lot of people who don't get their dog fixed, if you don't get your dog fixed for its entire life and it's a female, at some point it's going to have some puppies. Like a dude is going to get over the fence. She's going to get under the fence. As they say in Jurassic Park, nature will find a way. So for her to not have any signs of having babies ever in her life and be as old as she is makes me think that she was fixed when she was very young. And we're just not seeing the tattoo because her fur has completely grown over it. But they give them a little blue line tattoo. I can't tell you how many people I've had like hit me up, like new pet owners that are like, there's a blue spot on my dog. And I'm like, it's okay. That's on purpose. They put that there so that we know, so that when I get a dog, I can go up. Yep. Fixed. It's easier with the dudes, right? Cause it's like, oh, there's no nuts in there. That's you're good to go. Or you got a big old set on you and you're acting a damn fool. And I don't know why people have I don't know how to explain it. It's like an irrational attachment to their own dog's balls or genitalia in the case of females, where it's like, I'm not going to let them have puppies, but I don't want to get them fixed. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Statistically, dogs that are fixed live longer. That's usually all I have to say. Is like that, they're going to live longer. And then people are like, why? Well, they're not at risk of certain cancers right off the bat. But I think more realistically, because this is based on statistics, like overall statistics, these are the dogs that aren't running around in the street getting hit by cars. Plain and simple. If your dog is a female and it's in heat, it's putting off scents 3 miles in the air, and the dude dogs are like, oh, what's up? I'm trying to be about that, and they will hop whatever fence has kept them in their entire lives. They're getting over that shit today. And the girls too, they'll be like, let me get out here. They're gonna go under, they're gonna go over. Again, nature will find a way, right? So like, I think dogs live longer because those are not the dogs that are out running around in the street acting a damn fool. And likely the owners of those dogs take better care of their dogs, because getting your dog fixed and vaccinated is like part of pet ownership. You either get your dog from the shelter or a rescue, and it should be a new puppy, and they put it on the ground. I'm like, oh my God, don't. Please, for the love of God, take that thing for shots. I've seen parvo quite a few times, and it is the fucking worst. And those dogs, 9 and 10, don't survive. So, yikes. I mean, I'll tell you what, Caesar, if I'm gonna battle, it's got to be on the West Coast. That's for damn sure. I'm not getting on a plane for like any huge stretch of time. Yeah. I went to LA recently. I went and kicked it with the fucking my boys. But yeah, I don't know. I drove. If I'm flying, like I'm flying an hour or 2 in either direction. That's it, max. I'm done with the fucking super long traveling. I did that shit for way too long in my life. Oh, I don't think me and Frack would be a crazy battle. I think Frack should battle good up and coming people. It's like, I don't know. You don't move up a number in the rankings from battling me anymore. You know what I mean? Like, my ability to be like at my most entertaining is going to be versus someone that's like in my era. You know what I mean? Like, cause we're not getting in anybody else's way. We're just out here throwing, like, me and Carter was a perfect battle. I suggested me and SoulCon. People seem to like that or not care about it at all. Those are the two attitudes. I haven't heard anybody be like, that's a bad idea. But that would be cool, I think. I don't know. I don't have a bunch of them, but I don't think like Frack should be battling other up and coming battlers that are going after something, that want something. There's no fun in battling me. Man. Yeah, Ron's my favorite too, all around. Favorite dude. Kobeni's hasn't been spitting any bars today. She just barely started. She let out a single bark to get my attention, and it was like a happy one. So she's doing good, man. Fucking awesome. I trip out at these dogs that end up in the shelter. Like, if that's my dog, I'll fucking kill you for it. You know, actually, it's my dog now, and I'll kill you for it. So like, anybody losing a dog like that, to me, it's like, that's crazy. How would you do that? How did you go ahead and lose that dog? I keep forgetting to post that I'm live, but I don't know even who really cares. Again, notification gang is in this bitch. Yeah. Do I remember meeting Ron for the first time? I want to say Battle of LA 1, maybe. I don't know. I don't think. I think when you know someone really well, at some point it's like, yeah, I don't remember meeting a lot of my friends for the first time. I remember a bunch of crazy shit that happened with them over like a long stretch of time, but not like, every time the first place I met most people that you guys would like associate me with was at battle events, was at Battle of the Bay 1, you know what I mean? And then 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when we started traveling, the first time I met a lot of fools was at Grizzlemania. The first time I met a lot of fools was at Battle of LA 1 and Battle of LA 2. But actually, like, I went back, like, I've known some of those cats for a long time through music shit before we even started the battle shit. But Ron wasn't one of those people. I met him through battling for sure, which is ironic because he was like one of the better guys at making music that I've ever met in this shit. There's some of his songs that I still listen to like fucking all the time, and not because like I'm like having a heartfelt moment and shit. Like, they're genuinely like part of my, even when he was around still, they were part of my like, okay, this is on my list of however many songs I want to hear all the time for the rest of my life, which is probably like, I don't know, hundreds of songs at this point, but I definitely like go back to the well on that shit. And I can't say that about almost anybody's music from 10 years ago. Certainly not mine. Shit. Oh my God. It's like I'm not a big fan of my old music. Not mad at it. Everything I released is cool, but as far as like shit I'm gonna listen to, no sir. not that at all. Really the Death Dealer shit is the first shit that I've ever made that I've like been like this shit. Like I just ride around listening to that shit sometimes. This new EP we made, I've been fucking rolling around listening to that shit. Oh man, I think Caddy would have loved the DDA shit, and he would have definitely been one of like the select few people we would like let get on a track too. So he's the man. Me and Madness, like rematch would be fun too. We battled together. We battled against each other. We've done a whole shit. There was a me and Madness battle that we did to raise funds to go to London, and then we went to London, and then we were hella battling fools out there. Yeah, that's my boy. That's my dog. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's like even less active than me in this shit as far as like got things to do, like adult things to do. Me, I still run a dog rescue, and like I can justify doing a rap battle. I could be like, oh, I could do one more, baby. Like the older you, the more of an adult you become, the harder it is to justify this shit. Oh fuck. I don't know. Sorry to my friends that are older than me and still justifying this shit. Yeah. Fucking Kobeni thinks it's funny. But yeah, you know, I felt like I did some education in the Carter battle. Like there's definitely like a practical application to the educating the public part of dog rescue in doing a rap battle. You know, try and homie, we can argue about that. I'll prove my point. I could definitely, I don't know how I would be able to reach many more people. And I'm saying shit like, that's why you never see a cat following a homeless person, but it's different for a dog because his home is his person. Come the fuck on, dude. Like I'm trying to fucking make them think a little, pull on some heartstrings out here. Fucking go to the shelter and adopt one, bro. We might get a dog saved out this bitch off of fucking a battle rap. You know what I mean? That's just shit if we save one. Yeah, there you go. Topper, another man who's like, yeah, I'm an adult now, so maybe I won't be doing that. It's like, man, respect. I can respect the fuck out of that. But he would, yeah, I think he's another dude who could just step in and be better than everybody else. He has that kind of like, you know, fools would be like, oh man, that's crazy that fool could be like that good and be out of practice. And it's like, man, I didn't battle for 8 years. I came back in like better than I ever was before, or had at the very least ain't lost a step. And that's because I'm a great rapper, stupid. And I learned how to do like the battling part, which is really like, you know, just performing, which I've always been. I don't have like stage fright or fear of anything that isn't going to kill me. Like I tell my wife all the time, I only have rational fears. I don't have irrational fears. I'm only afraid of things that can actually hurt me. So like heights, yeah, fucking scary. Spiders, I don't know. Is it poisonous? If it's not, then I'm not scared of it. It's fucking sorry. Snakes, yeah, yeah. If it bites, that's enough. But like, whatever. Is it going to kill me? Then I'm very afraid. If not, nah, whatever. I'm not really afraid of that. So like the performing aspect of battling, I mean, I guess it is a thing because you got dudes like Chess who are like very talented but can't. Will just like fucking, their body will fucking freak out and make them throw up in the middle because they're so nervous. Fuck, bro. That's frightening. That's scary. I would be scared if that could happen to me, but no, that could never happen to me. What the fuck? Why is your body having an involuntary reaction to failure? What the fuck is that? That's crazy. That's nuts, man. I've never felt anything like that in my life. I've been like very nervous before. Even to the point where it's like, oh, it's kind of like This is, I don't know. No, I'm sure it was something I ate. No, I've never been like, I'm nervous, so I'm going to throw up. That's so weird. What the fuck is wrong with you? And how are you a battle rapper at this point? God bless you if you end up in a fucking interrogation room. It's more nerve-wracking. Yo. No, I do not. I don't even smoke weed anymore. I haven't smoked weed since December 31st. Since motherfucking before midnight on New Year's Eve. Because I told myself I can't be fucking spending a bunch of money on weed in backwoods. First of all, very not healthy. The older I get, the less healthy this shit is. The less I could fucking rationalize doing unhealthy shit. And then B, it's like I can't be spending money on this shit. And then I just end up spending hella money on fucking candy cabinets and shit. But I mean like video games, arcades, not actual candies. You weirdos. That's what Cody's at home like, oh, candy? No, fucking, I don't know. I can't just be smoking hella weed all the time, dude. I run a dog rescue. Like I have to deal with serious shit all the time. And I can't like roll up fucking smelling like weed or any, it's like not, it's honestly like that mind state is not, it doesn't work well with this type of work. I'm sure there's a better way to say that, but I have been drinking some wine tonight. And I also do partake in the gummies because I hate dreaming. Dreaming is terrible and terrifying. And I don't know, edibles, it's kind of different, but it's okay. But I can't just be smoking hella trees, and so I'm definitely not growing weed anymore. I'd like to, like when I have some property, and I can, like, and I have space for it that I could keep away from dogs, and it's like every fucking inch of this house is dedicated to the rescue or in some way, shape, or form, or like where I live. There's no room for weed plants here. Dogs will fuck that shit up, and like these motherfuckers need room to run. But eventually I will have enough room, and I'd like to think of myself as an old man, like smoking a joint and shit. But by that point I'll have people to help me run the rescue, and that'll be nice. There used to be like, I did the dog rescue for years, smoking. And it made me stressed out a lot of times. I feel more stressed out. I feel less stressed out now not smoking, if that makes any sense. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. At some point, you've just been doing something your entire fucking life, and you're like, maybe we should try something else. You know what I mean? Which is the same thing. That's the same attitude that got me doing the dog rescue shit. Because I was like, I just been doing the same shit for so long. And like, for what? For me? Yeah, pretty much, like exclusively. So, try and do something to, for others to make myself feel better. Still selfish, but less selfish. So, I think that quitting smoking weed is like in line with all that shit too. Cause it's like, you gotta, if I baby steps, but if you're going to try and, truly be of service, probably shouldn't be shit housed all the time. You know what I mean? But here I am bullshitting with you, a couple gummies in me, drinking wine, Kobeni laying over here like a baby. It's good though. We're doing good. First week is the toughest, especially with the dreams. I was like sweating through clothes. It was like, waking up fucking in a pool of sweat, just like freaking out. What the fuck just happened? I didn't have dreams for like fucking 20 years. It's like not, not a real dream where you like wake up and for a minute have to like, why do I feel these feelings? Like that shit, if you smoke enough, you just don't have dreams. And I smoked enough for like 20 years. So it was, easy. Maybe 30. Fucking, I was like, let me think about that. Yeah, like closer to 25 than 20. That's for sure. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, yeah, I could totally see especially where you're coming from, Blue. Yeah, it's like, it's different. And that's cool too. You know what I mean? Like, let's not downplay being shithoused, but if you've done that your whole fucking life, to do something different has a lot of value. I don't know. if that makes any sense. This ain't ruin an hour, bud. I'm I'm still kind of a piece of shit. I just am less of a piece of shit. Again, baby steps. Baby steps. But no, I mean at the same time, like the average American fucking goes home and has a drink, and that's why there's so many liquor stores in the world and alcoholics. Oh, whatever. Oh. Hey, you still don't dream? Fire. I wish I could turn that shit off. Oh my God. It's not cool. You're not missing anything fun. I don't know. Even like when they're not bad dreams, they're still like, why is this? Why am I fucking buying records from fucking some random person in, you know what I mean, that I've like met at a comedy club the other night? Like just weird, like just things that it's like, that didn't happen. That's not a thing that happened. And I think it is for like a minute. I'm like, no, that was no. I bought this arcade tank stick, and then I was like, I had a dream that it only had like weird outs and it didn't have like a USB out. And I was like, what the fuck? Where do I get an adapter? Whoop de whoop. And then I woke up and I was like, fuck, I got to get an adapter. And I looked at my tank stick and I was like, oh, it has one. What am I talking about? I was like, oh, that was just a dream? Man, that's irritating. It's like, that's what I'm talking about. You're not missing shit, Blue. It's fucking annoying. No, drinking is like the least fun of all of the things. Absolutely. Even as a kid, like, no, I didn't really. That's why I smoked so much. I've never been like a really prolific drinker. I don't know, like, very rarely in my life have I even got like drunk. It's happened quite a few times, but like, not, especially not in the last like 20 years, not a lot. Not too many to mention. I don't know. I don't like being like, I hate throwing up. That's gross. But also like being like out of control of my fucking idiot tendencies or whatever. And I watch too many of my friends do dumbass shit, super drunk. And I'm like, I'll just smoke weed, you know, or do the ones that don't make you A, like steal from your family, or B, act a damn fool. So that's why I always gravitated towards like the smoking and hallucinogenics, I suppose, because those ones, it's like just having fun, you know. There's not really too many times where you'd be like, that guy on acid fucking freaked out and acted a fool. I mean, certainly stories, right? But not for me. I think it's a different mindset. I think that's when like people who aren't prepared for the shit do the shit. I don't know. Still, 40 years old, I don't see myself doing that ever again. Or, you know, yeah, like I would. The more responsibility you have, I suppose, as you get older, the more like less fun those things become, because then you're just like fucking mulling over shit in your brain over and over again. And like now that I have like real fucking responsible work that like where like people and things depend on me, and even like, you know, in the most extreme senses, I can't even fathom like having fun in that way. Like I would just be like, oh my God, what am I gonna do about the dogs the whole fucking time? And I don't think that would be any kind of fun for myself or anybody else. So, you know, a thug changes. Mm. Um, I like a cheap, I like a cheap sparkling wine. There's one called Wyclef, my second favorite Fuji. First favorite sparkling wine. Shit is like $8.99, and that shit tastes like La Marca. I love it, man. Yeah. You should see Absurd. You should see the little one that I got from the shelter. I'll pick her up in a bit. I'm gonna let her chill for now. I don't want to bother her. She must be exhausted. It was a very exciting day for her. She got fucking sprung from the shelter. I pulled up this morning and I was like, "Oh, I came for a dog." And one of the ladies at the counter, I didn't know who she was, or she didn't know who I was. And she was like, "Are you with rescue?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And then I kind of looked over at one of the ones that did know. I was like, what's up? And then she's like, well, you have to email so-and-so, whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, really? I never done that before. Did I do that last time? And then the girl was like, nah, it's good. He's good. And then fucking, they took me in the back and they started bringing me the dogs that I asked to see. And then they brought me her, and I was like, oh shit, look at this one. Oh my God. Oh my God. I got to have her. So, and then our executive director, Ruth, went and looked at some of the rescue only dogs, some of the large breed ones, and she came back crying. And I was like, fuck. I'm like, yeah, which one, man? Like, oh, let's get that one too. So we're thinking about picking up this guy Tony, but we have some we got to move some dogs to fosters if we're going to do that. And this is what I'm talking about. These are like real life decisions we have to make. And I'm always like, it's a quality over quantity game when it comes to pulling individual dogs, because at the end of the day, we could pull 100 dogs and then there'll be 100 more dogs in there. Like, it's a never ending fucking cycle. We need systematic change. And that's why, like, I'm focusing my efforts on fundraising so that we can get like a mobile spay and neuter clinic going that can pull up on the encampments, something that is going to long-term affect the numbers. Because right now it's like, it's fucking ain't no way, ain't no how. You can't do it. There's too many. They haven't had free spay and neuter here in San Jose, a city of over 1 million people, 10th largest city in America, 3rd largest city in California. They haven't had spay and neuter for free since 2019. That's fucking insane. That's 5 years of dogs breeding unchecked. The streets are wild. You go to the encampments, it's like a fucking third world city out there. And a lot of the dogs that end up in like the care of people who rescue dogs from the shelter are dogs that are like just born in these encampments and like make it out. You know what I mean? Like, and people, dude, wild shit is happening. People are getting attacked by wild dogs on the street. Unleashed dogs breaking out of backyards, breaking out of the encampments, rope tied to a tree. You know what I mean? Like, attacking people and their small dogs and their cats and all shit, like all in these areas surrounding downtown. Like, you go on next door, it's fucking crazy. I don't know how much more it's going to take before the powers that be recognize, like, okay, this is the thing you have to spend money on, or else it's going to get dangerous. Like, it already fucking is for a lot of people, but it's like, I don't know how many people, like, I don't know how many times I got to read on Nextdoor, fucking, I got attacked by a fucking random dog. Like, so it's going to happen to the wrong person, and eventually they'll do something about it. But goddamn, systematic change, peoples. We can't just be pulling dogs, you know, 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 10 at a time, and being like, oh, all right, we're fixing the problem. Like, no, we're not at all. We are making lives better for these dogs and the people that we put them with. Absolutely. Are we having a long-term effect on the dog population, the unwanted dog population crisis? No, not at all. So that's what, like, I'm fixing my focus on. You know what I mean? As far as like my long-term effort to dog rescue, it has to be figuring out how to put a cap on this shit, slow it down, make it reasonable for the shelter, for them to be able to operate. Like, the shelter is not where any dogs are supposed to live. It's supposed to be for pet owners who lose their pets, for them to find their pets and get their pets back. Like, that's what the shelter was designed for, right? It's not supposed to be an adoption agency. It's not. There's too many dogs, and there's too many, and then people are like breeding them all fucking willy-nilly at the same time. It's like, oh my God, it's insane. It's the biggest like uphill battle ever. I've never been involved in anything that like was so gratifying, but then felt so hopeless at the same time, where it's like, oh yeah, we're not fucking doing a damn thing. Like, yeah, I walk out of the shelter with a dog, and I'm like, yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, but I was like, well, fucking, I'll be back next week for another one. Like, and then again, and then again, and then again. It's like, how many dogs have I pulled in the last 3 weeks? Like 4? Fucking, there's 4 more there. The kennels were filled immediately. There were people waiting outside to surrender while I was walking one out the door. Like 3 of them. You know, we get our fucking inbox is 1, 2 fucking adoption requests, fucking 10 rehoming requests. And we're like, what do you do? Why are all these people getting rid of their full grown dogs? It's fucking insane. Oh, here I am ranting again. Sorry. I think I'm going to have to do a podcast just about the dog rescue shit. Because I don't think that anybody here wants to hear that shit. And I thought about creating a YouTube channel for the dog rescue where we show all the like dogs stories and shit, like where they came from, like when we picked them up, and then where they are now, fucking get on the dodo and fucking pull on some heartstrings or whatever. I mean, some of these dogs, it's incredible, like the before and after with them and shit. And the ones even that are like still in our own care. And then I feel like I could fucking talk about this shit forever. But again, like, I don't think it's fair to make you guys listen to it. Like, at least not like, I'm like, hey, fucking, Dirtbag Dan here or whatever. It's like, it's not. But it's unfair on this channel to do that. That's not the nature of this shit. And like, also like, certainly would need to create a much wider separation between myself and like my, I don't know. It's not like I care, right? But like, I don't want anything to stand in the way of me getting dogs adopted. So if somebody's like, I don't want to, if somebody's offended by some shit I said on the podcast, I wouldn't want that to affect a dog getting adopted. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Which is like, who fucking cares? But it's certainly like, even like, I don't have, Twitter is the only place where I have any semblance of an opinion that would conflict with somebody else's. And in the sense that like my Facebook even is connected to my Instagram and Facebook for Adopt My Block, right? So like those are actual places where we conduct a lot of business as a dog rescue. So on my personal Facebook, I don't say anything like this sucks or what, I don't like this, or making fun of somebody. It's like never, not even close. I just like operate like, oh, look at this dog we got. Hey, whoop de whoop 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 whoop, dogs. Got some dogs. And I don't even like post negative shit about dogs because I don't feel like I don't want to guilt people into shit. I want people to be, excited to add a member to their family. I don't want them to be like, you got to get this dog today. That shit's heartbreaking. But I digress. If I had like an all dog related YouTube channel, I feel like I could attach that to the rescue, and then maybe that would benefit the dogs in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I don't really like, both that I don't want to fucking like be rambling about dog shit over here. But also that like it would be helpful to dogs if like people could see like, the work we do with them or whatever, or helpful to the rescue as far as like raising awareness, and funds shit. Here I am talking myself into it. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. I'll continue to come here and bullshit, but I won't do it about dogs all the time because that's not fucking fun for anybody. It's just, I'm just out here being sad. Fucking Gus. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Gus. I have an English bulldog. His name is Gus. That's my boy, Lord Suggins. I would treat him like a fucking prince. He was tied to a fence at a vet. He was used for breeding. His feet are all splayed. His arms are all fucking malformed from spending most of his life in a crate. That's it with the sad shit. I'm not going to do anymore. Every time I bring Gus out into public and he meets people and everyone's like, oh my God, he's so cute and whatever. It's like, he's the man and he's hella friendly and whatever. And then like people are like, why are his arms like that? And then I have to tell like a super sad ass story. And like, it's like, it's crazy how like quick I go to just bumming people the fuck out from being like, oh my God, he's so cute, to being like, oh yeah, he's so cute. Yeah, well, fucking some asshole tied him to a fence at a vet and his fucking legs are all, his feet are all smashed because he was standing on grates his whole life. Like, They had to slide pee pads underneath there. People are like, oh my God. Their face is just dropping. I'm sitting here telling this shit to like children. Oh yeah, no, he was in a cage his whole life. He's good now. He's good now. Their parents are all like, I'm like, he's good now. He's good now. We treat him like a prince. We got this little cart for him. We roll him around. Holy shit. Oh my God. It is. It's impossible for me to not do it too. Like when people are like, "Oh wow, why do you use the cart?" And I'm like, "Oh, he can't walk long distances because he was abused." I'm sorry. Sometimes people will do that shit where they're like, "Oh my God, little prince." I'm like, "Yeah, he can't walk, asshole. His legs are broken. You feel good? You feel good about making fun of my fucking English bulldog for being crippled?" Poor guy. But he's the man. You should see him when some food comes out. That motherfucker whips across the floor. He keeps jumping up on me, trying to knock me down and shit. He is the happiest boy on earth. But yeah, I'd be breaking hearts out there with my man's Gus. It's just fucking. Oh, we want to write a children's book about him, and then me and my wife were talking about it, and she was like, "Well, why are we gonna explain that he was used for breeding?" I was like, "No, then we'll have to explain the birds and the bees to children." I was like, "We just say he was in a cage. Like, we don't have to specify why he was in a cage. Like, in fact, we better not. Like, that's gonna get us in a lot of trouble. We just need to say he was trapped in a cage, and then now he's free, and treat him like a prince. And he goes to the hockey games." Yeah, that's fun, man. That's the type of shit. And then a kid will be like, "Oh yeah, don't do that. Um, don't keep your dog in a cage, or get a dog from the shelter, or whatever the fuck. I don't know. We'll have to have uh we'll have to have a non-abuse related happy ending that doesn't that teach kids a lesson, but also doesn't scare the shit out of them, right? I think that's what we're supposed to do. That's the bridge you got to cross when working on children's stuff. It's like, how do we educate them without scaring the shit out of them? Well, we'll see. We'll work on that. That's definitely the next step. He's the man. No, I mean, it's not broken, right? But it's like bent, all fucked up. Like it's all like it has like weird, like fucking. He's malformed from abuse. Like I said, I don't want to talk about it. But he's very mobile still. That fool, he whips around. But yeah, and his feet are the problem really because they're splayed, so he can't fucking do long distances. Shut up, fool. Yeah, that's what Lord Suggins. About how he went from a pauper to a prince, something like that, right? That's what he's got, a cape and a little cart that he rolls around in that says Lord Suggins. We built it for the wrestling shit, for big time wrestling, and it was so funny. I brought him in the ring, and I was all, somebody tied this guy to a fence at the vet, and everyone said boo. And then I brought him in the ring, and I spun him around, and was like, yeah. And I was like, can you believe somebody tied this guy to a fence at the vet? They were like, boo. Fucking sick. Yeah, I'm hoping he stays mobile for a long time, but we'll definitely get creative with like his carts in the future. He's also like just the funniest looking dog ever. Bulldogs they're like Picassos. They all look different, but they all, like, you could tell it's the same artist or whatever. And like, but it's all kind of goofy, and yeah, fucking this fool looks so funny. He's got the grumpiest face all the time. Like he just looks like, and I could see the other dogs, they don't know how to read him. They're like, what is he fucking thinking? Does he want to fight me? Like, I don't know. They don't understand fucking bulldog face language and shit. And I don't either. Sometimes he'll just sprint across the room and fucking try and tackle me. He's a wild boy. Oh, that dog is the shit. No, I mean, we go to hockey games and they fucking score, and kids are all screaming, and he don't give a fuck. He's just like, I want popcorn. Fucking, he's a fool. Yeah, he's the coolest dog. I can bring him in public. He's stoked to meet everybody. Like, and it was crazy because when I got him, when I would pick him up, he would freak out. He was not down with being picked up right off the bat. And you could tell it was just like, oh, no one's handling this fool really. But you know, now he's like, oh, no, it's having fun. You wanna fight? You wanna wrestle? He fucking rolls on his back in the kitchen and fucking like kicks his legs up in the air and shit. He's like, let's fucking go. He's wild. He's a wild ass boy, man. I love the English bulldogs. Cool as fuck. There was 3 there today. Like I'm not trying to pull dogs that I know that are gonna get adopted. I actually know someone who's looking, so I sent them the info on a couple of English bulldogs. But I wanted to look at this one named Buford, and he was just fuck. He had too much shit going on. Um, yeah, just really, he was I would probably like I don't know if I'd say worse than Gus because his was from breeding, like genetically. His like fucking arms were so bowed out from like whatever the fuck. And he would just like, he was in rough shape. And I was like, this dog needs extreme fucking medical. But I reached out to another bully rescue that I think has the capabilities. That's kind of what they focus on. That's another thing about this dog rescue shit. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Like, I can't. There's certain like behavior levels that I can't deal with. As far as like, I can't. I'm not even insured to pull dogs that have bite histories, right? Let alone trained to do that. I don't. I'm not, and I don't pretend to be a dog trainer. But I also certainly don't have the knowledge to deal with dogs that show aggression towards people. It's like a line dogs cross that is it's hard to get a dog to come back from that, and it takes real fucking skill. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's not easy, and it's not something that you want to undertake unless you're absolutely sure that you can do it, right? Because in my situation too, especially dogs that show aggression towards other dogs, um, I have a lot of dogs here at all times. So if I pull a dog that is aggressive towards other dogs, it's like, ooh, we're gonna have a fucking problem here. So I don't. I've had in the past. I had a separate area. This whole garage. We had a dog named Joey here. Lived here for 2 years. Joey bit 2 people to stitches, and as he got older, he started to become aggressive towards other dogs. Um, he also had severe separation anxiety. So like pretty much someone had to be with him here all the time. It was crazy. Had him for 2 years. He was a hospice guy, and I mean, like he wasn't adoptable. So after the second bite thing, it was like we had to take full responsibility for anything that happened in the future, and he couldn't leave our premises or whatever. So 2 years lived like that. There's a lot of dogs like her. Like, how many dogs have you guys seen me podcast with in the last like month or two? All those dogs would not have been able to be here if Joey was still here. So I can't take another dog that's going to take the place of 20 dogs. You know what I mean? That's not effective. That's less effective even than like the because at the end of the day, like I said, even if we can't like stop the problem as a whole, we are making the lives of these dogs better and of the people that we give these dogs to, or that let these dogs into their lives, whatever. But you know, you have to some extent, you have to look at the long game and go, well, can I help this guy, or is helping this guy going to cost me the ability to help? How many dogs? You know what I mean? And like, it's sometimes you just go fuck it, like we got to do what we got to do. But there's some dogs where you're like, I'm not either financially or physically able to deal with this in a way that's going to be effective towards the rescue. It's going to cost a lot of dogs their ability to have a future, and that's not really fair to, you know, the process, I guess. I don't know. So, damn, I'm talking about fucking dogs again. Yikes, bro. I guess it's just one of those nights. I was at the shelter today. It's a not it's one of the harder parts because you want to just scoop them all up. You want to take every single one of them. But god damn. Um again, like the first 3 years of doing this, I did it pretty haphazardly, and I ended up putting, you know, uh, fucking the whole thing in jeopardy multiple times with regards to safety, my long term ability to do it, all the shit. So like it took me that time to learn like my capabilities, the capabilities of the space that I operate in, working with fosters, um, the you know a lot of like the really ins and outs of the whole shit. Um, and it's you learn through mistakes mostly. So fortunately, like we were able to grow in a way that didn't fucking cost anybody an arm or a leg or uh, you know, our sanity. But goddamn, close to the line sometimes. So fucking and then we always like you never want to be the rescue that needs to be rescued. You know what I mean? So like that's the other thing too is that like oh I'll just pull them all and figure it out later mentality is how you end up fucking becoming a fucking animal hoarder, and then you got fucking animal control at your house because you got fucking 40 cats in your garage or some crazy ass shit. I see this shit all the time and I'm like, how does that happen? I'm like, oh wait, I know exactly how that happens. Just saying yes. That's it. Because people will let you do it if you're just like, yeah, sure, I'll help, I'll help, I'll help. No one's ever going to be like, wait, are you sure? Do you really have this? You know what I mean? Like, you have to know the fucking line or the limit, or else you'll just end up underneath it. You know what I mean? And by it, I mean 40 cats. Yeah. Um, we focus on at-risk dogs, right? So let me show you. All right, we're gonna hassle Kobeni one more time because Kobeni is like a prime example of the kind of dog that I exclusively try to pull. Right, the dogs that I'm most like focused on or whatever. This is a prime example. Kobeni, oh my baby, oh you sleepy baby, I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry to wake you. All right. So she is. This dog was at the shelter for. I don't know if she got returned because she had paperwork from May of 2023, but then her intake day said, "Oh baby, I'm sorry. Why did I wake you up?" Her intake paper said the 19th. Well, what happens sometimes is I'll put them with a foster and then they come back, and oh, baby, here, a little. She has a partially collapsed trachea, which is common in some of these older dogs. But she is an old uh, Chihuahua, right? She's an older Chihuahua mix. Who knows what she's mixed with? Something special. Yeah, I know, baby. But this is what I would call an at-risk dog because both as an older dog, a Chihuahua, a black dog, which is like surprisingly, black dogs statistically get adopted less than other color dogs. I think a lot of people think it's because of like not being able to see their facial features. Um, I don't know. I've always had such luck with black dogs, like as far as their temperaments and shit. Baz, one of my favorite dogs. But those dogs took very long to get adopted. Same thing with Odie. We had him from when he was a puppy until he was like 8 or 9 months, 11 months even. Oh, Kobeni. You okay, baby? But Kobeni is a the perfect like the kind of dog that isn't going to do well at the shelter, but is like beautiful. Put her in a dress. Take her to an event. I'm sorry, baby. You're so sweet. You break it. I didn't mean to bug you. She's like, is this what you pulled me for? No, you got to be a supermodel right now, baby. Um, that is what we would call an at-risk dog, not a dog that's going to get pulled first from the shelter. And the kind of dog that is super sweet, loving right off the bat, like that gets along great with other dogs, people of all sizes. I don't see her being mad at kids or whatever. Like she's just super sweet. So, but we'll give her time to decompress, get her fully medically cleared so that we know like what if any kind of medication she needs or anything. Doesn't I mean like the shelter does what they can. They're limited as far as like how far they can go on medical on these dogs, and they can definitely like set us in the right direction. So we try to pull the dogs that need a little extra that we can do that for, whether that be medical or behavior. Right? Sometimes it's behavior. Sometimes you're grabbing a younger dog who has like pulls on the leash, jumps on people. That's a lot. We get a lot of that where people are like, this dog jumps up. That's why this dog got sent back, because he had kids, knocked a kid over, jumps up, pulls on the leash. People get puppies when the puppy stops being a puppy and they didn't train it anything, then they fucking surrender it to the shelter, right? Those dogs, man, our executive director Ruth, she's really good at like fucking teaching dogs basic shit like that, like how to not jump up, how to walk on a leash. Like, she's really good at it. It's incredible. I've seen her turn dogs around in 2 weeks and shit. Like, right off the bat, she'll be walk my dog and be like, "Oh, you're doing it wrong. Hold on, bah." I'm like, God damn. Like, why does he listen to you? It's just like, I don't know. I don't care. Like, that's probably why. Like, but yeah, that's what we try and do. We try and work with at-risk dogs. And around here in San Jose, it's a lot easier to find homes for the small breed dogs than it is for large breed dogs. We usually we work in like between 3 and 5 dogs at a time. The majority of those dogs are small breed dogs. I want to say like 3 in every 5 probably. Try and keep it as even as possible. But we get a lot of large breed puppies, which means we need to find the right kind of homes for them before they get too big. And sometimes we end up having them until they're, near full grown dogs, which is, I don't know, it's a bummer, but at the same time, like, those dogs go out into the world, crate trained, potty trained, leash trained, with some obedience and like a direction, and all that. All people have to do is either keep it up or not, whatever works for you. Like, as long as you're taking responsibility for the dog and you're going to treat it the right way. Some people, I mean, like, one of the things that Ruth always tells me is like, your dog just has to be as good as you need it to be. Like, every dog doesn't have to be fucking skid boot, fucking, turn around, jump 3 times backwards, like doing like everything you fucking ask. That would be awesome. But realistically, your dog just needs to fit your life. And all these dogs need to fit somebody's life in order to get adopted. So we try and get the dog from being in the shelter, which is a super stressful place, to being in somebody's house. And sometimes that is a little bit of medical or a little bit of behavior. And if we can get, a little bit of that one, a little bit of this one, like, we're getting these dogs moved out of there, we're reducing some stress on the shelter, we're making a new place for a dog that needs to be there, or, exiting a dog that wasn't going to do well there. So that's the job, people. Now I'm exhausted. I don't know how this devolved into that, but it definitely did. So, oh, Danny Myers. Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty good one too. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Uh, good one. I don't know about QP. I guess that would be cool. I mean, like, I just, I don't know. He's too serious. Danny Myers, what I could have fun with. I'm also not trying to have like a knockdown, drag out war with somebody. That's exhausting, and not conducive to what I'm trying to do. Anyways, be talking about dogs and someone who's been talking about fucking murdering me, which is whatever. Actually, that's fun. It was fun when those parts of Carter's bars were the best. Yeah, man, Tiger Ty, God bless. I wonder how he's doing, where he's at. He was a man. Like that dude a lot. Hope he's fucking well wherever he is, because he's the man. But I do like the Danny Myers matchup. I think that would be fucking tight. Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. This is the second time we was out here today, and I'm fully exhausted from a long day of doing this shit, but also just talking about this shit. So again, we're gonna have to do an exclusive dog channel so that I can do this more often, because that's probably necessary. But if I do it in a measured way, I might be able to like teach a broader audience of people, as opposed to being like, talking to you guys who'd rather hear Cadillac Ron stories. So it's like, yeah, that's not productive. You know what I mean? Plus, you guys all know. You guys are all the homies, and those of you especially that I know from real life are dog lovers and treat dogs well, and that's like honestly the sign of a rational and loving person, as opposed to like if you ever meet someone who doesn't like dogs, whew, stay the fuck away from that person. That is a creepy person. Um, it's definitely like a sign of something deeply broken in a human being to not be like to not have an attachment to dogs, because it is like in our nature, you know what I mean? Like we've created this bond with these animals over the course of like thousands of years, and to some extent like that's got to be ingrained in like almost every culture, you know what I mean? Like that connection and shit over so many years, just so many people having dogs in some way, shape, or form around them or with them. So yeah, buddy. All right, I'm gonna fucking get out of here. I'm gonna let Kobeni rest. I appreciate you guys listening to me fucking bullshit. Cheers. You know what I'm saying? And God bless.